Suspended SARS boss Tom Moyane's attorneys have written to President Cyril Ramaphosa. Moyane rejects the recommendations of Judge Nugent and his assistants and says they cannot be implemented. The interim report recommends that Moyane be removed from office immediately. ENCA's Heidi Jokos is following that story and joins us now. Well, Heidi, the nub of his, one criticism of Judge Nugent and what he says must be done, or President Ramaphosa should be doing.
So it's a 6-page letter to the president. We know that his deadline was last week, Friday, the 26th of October. We've received this letter where they try and argue why Tom Moyane should not be removed as the Commissioner of SARS. Basically, they're arguing that the interim report by the Nugent Commission, together with his panel, is irrational, it's unreasonable in the circumstances, it's unfair, and it's tainted by bias. They have a number of points that they allude to, specifically speaking about how there's distortion of facts, how Tom Moyane was not given an opportunity to present his evidence and to defend himself from all these witnesses that came in. They believe that the Commission has painted Tom Moyane as evil and marking on as the angel in all of this. I mean, the one point even says King on campaign, where they speak about how currently the acting commissioner has been, portrayed as this angel, and Moyane stays at the back in the shadows. So, to be honest, we are reading this. There is no direct point as to why they feel he shouldn't be removed as the commissioner. They've also given the president a deadline if I can just read this paragraph, they're basically saying that by no later than the 9th of November, the president needs to decide whether he will not implement the recommendations of Mr. Nugent and his assistants. And failing to do so, Commissioner Moyane will take steps to protect his rights. So the president also has a deadline, we see.
Okay, but now Mr. Tom Moyane is the one who has refused to appear before the commission. Remind us again of his reasons for not wanting to appear before the commission?
Which he points out specifically in this letter. Basically, Tom Moyane feels that it has been extremely unfair towards him that he has a disciplinary hearing, which is separate to the Commission of Inquiry. So the disciplinary hearing is one specifically into the conduct of Tom Moyane, whereas the Commission of Inquiry is into tax administration and governance at the Revenue Service, headed up by Judge Nugent, which are two separate issues. The Commission of Inquiry does look at Moyane's tenure and what went down when he was the commissioner. However, it's not specific to Tom Moyane as the commissioner. It's looking at SARS as a whole. However, Tom Moyane feels as though this has been completely unfair because they're running together at the same time and it's an attack on him. However, he has been given ample opportunity to present himself at this Commission of Inquiry, and he has chosen not to do so, as he feels it was just out of courtesy that Judge Nugent invited him to this commission, and they actually don't want to hear what he has to say, which is not the case, because we've heard the judge basically saying anybody is welcome, including Tom Moyane.
So if the president does not respond to him or does not meet his deadline of the 9th of November, Tom Moyane, will approach the courts.
Which he has done so already. So I don't know what we're going to see differently in this situation, because they have taken to the Constitutional Court, the highest court in the land, to try and stop this Commission of Inquiry. November's approaching, and this Commission of Inquiry is almost over. The final report will need to be on the President's desk by the end of November. So this demand for the President to respond, otherwise they will go to the Constitutional Courts or other courts, approaching the courts to obtain relief. It's something that we've heard of before, because we know that they've already taken a 700-page affidavit to the Constitutional Court to try and halt this Commission of Inquiry and not have it running together with his disciplinary hearing.
Okay. From him being given a deadline to him giving the president a deadline. Well, that's why we're going to leave it. Thanks very much, Heidi, for taking us through very briefly what Tom Moyane's response to the president. Tom Moyane giving the president until the 9th of November to tell him that he will not be implementing the recommendations of Judge Nugent, that he, Tom Moyane, should be fired.